अस्सलाम वालेकुम व्यूवर्स, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है विक्टोरियन लिटरेचर। इट वॉज इन द विक्टोरियन इरा 1837 to 1901 that the novel became the leading form of literature in English. Most writers were now more concerned to meet the taste of a large middle class reading public than to please aristocratic patrons. The best known work of the era include the emotionally powerful work of the Bronte sisters, The Star Vanity Fair by William Shakespeare, Thackeray, the realist novel of George Eliot, and Anthony Trollope's insightful portraits of the lives of the landowning and professional classes. Charles Dickens emerged on the literary scene in the 1830s, confirming the trend for serial publication. Dickens wrote vividly about London's life and the struggle of the poor, but in a good-humored fashion which was acceptable to readers of all classes. His early works such as the Pickwick Papers and masterpiece of comedy. Later his work became darker without losing his genuine for caricatures. The Bronte sisters were English writers of the 1840s and 1850s. Their novels caused a sensation when they were first published and were subsequently accepted into the canon of great English literature. They had written compulsively from early childhood and were first published and their own expenses. In 1846, as poets under the pseudonyms Courier, Cure, Ills, and Acton's Bell, the book attracted little attention, selling only two copies. The sisters returned to prose, producing a novel each in the following years. Charlotte, Jenny Eyre, Emily Hyde, and Annie Eason's Grave were released in 1847. An interest in rural matters and the changing social and economic situation of the countryside may be seen in the novel of Thomas Hardy, Elizabeth Callaghan, Gaslick, and others. Leading poetry figures include Alfred Tennyson, Robert Browning, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Matthew Arnold, Dante Gabrielski, and Christina Rossetti. The novel of George Eliot, such as Middlemarch, were a milestone of literary realism and combined high Victorian literary detail with an intellectual breadth that removed them from the narrow confines they often depict. Novels of Thomas Hardy and others dealt with the changing social and economic situation of the countryside. Vicky Clooney's epistolary novel The Moonstone 1868 has been acclaimed as the first detective novel in the English language. The premier ghost story writer of the 19th century was Sheridan Le Fanu. His work include the macabre mystery novel Uncle Silas 1865 and his gothic novella Carmilla 1872 tells the story of a young woman's susceptibility to the attention of a female vampire. Bram Stoker's seminal horror Dracula has been attributed to a number of literary genres including vampire literature, horror fiction, gothic novel, and invasion literature. H.G. Wells invented a number of themes that are now classic in the science fiction genre. The War of the Worlds 1898 describing an invention of a late Victorian England by matrons using trapode fighting machine equipped with advanced weaponry. is a seminal depictions of an alien invention of Earth, the time machine Earth। तो ये था हमारा आज का टॉपिक। उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आपको आज की वीडियो पसंद आई होगी। पसंद आए तो वीडियो को लाइक कीजिएगा, शेयर कीजिएगा, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलिएगा। थैंक यू।